Hey guys, HC here, and today I'm going to teach you how to install a BungeeCord server and how to run it with a Spigot server. Alright, so first, you're going to download the latest version of BungeeCord, and as you can see, this one is much smaller than the predecessor of Spigot or CraftBucket, depending on what you're using. So first, you're going to go into your SSH client, and you're going to change your directory to your BungeeCord folder. So we're just going to do this. Now that that's set to that directory, we're going to do java-jar bungeecord.jar, bungeecord.jar, and that just runs it with the default settings that it defines for the RAM. And since none of the files are created, it's just going to go ahead and do that. So now that that's created, we're just going to go ahead and end it so we can set everything up. Now, for this tutorial, I don't have my ports forward and whatnot, so I'm just going to use localhost as my IP address. But for your server, you're going to actually do something different. But first, I need to get this open. There it is. Okay, so here you have your fallback server, which is if one of the servers isn't found, that's where it's going to redirect the players, which you usually want that to be your lobby server. This is it. Okay. You have your maximum amount of players, which only matters if you have a player limit. If it's -1, then you're always going to allow players no matter what. So the port is defaulted to 25575 or 25577. So we're going to change this. This right here is where you'd put your IP address. Say your IP address is 199.193.115.99, and then you're going to put your port, which will be 25565. 25565. But for this tutorial, since I don't have ports forward and whatnot, we're just going to do, for me, I'm just going to use localhost :25565. Tab size, that's how many players will show up if you use tab, which is directly affected by the tab list. You can have global ping or server. Server means that BungeeCord will not handle the tab list. If it's in global ping, everybody that's currently on the server will be will be showing up on one tab. Let's see. So here you have your servers. Now we're going to deal with that in a second. See, force default server. Force default server is every time they log in, if you have this at false, it's going to keep track of everybody who's logged in their last logged in place, or server for that matter, in locations.yml. But if you want people to always go back to the default server, which is your fallback server, you're going to have this as true. And we'll just do that for now. Your MOTD is what will show up when players look at your server on their server list in their client. Now, this will be affected by colors. I'm pretty sure you can do &6. We're going to do a BungeeCord server. Default server is going to be the first server that they connect to. Also, I mean, it's going to double as your fallback server for that matter. So we're going to use this. And here I have the hub server, which I don't know why I defined mine as hub. So we're going to do hub and hub. Now your forced hosts, the forced host is if you have subdomains. You can have pvp.md5.net here. And so if they were to connect to that and I want that domain to go to the survival, I would have survival. So if they were to connect to pvp.md5.net for this, it would connect them to survival server, but I don't have any of that set up, so that's kind of irrelevant. So for your servers, I have 2 servers for this tutorial, so we're going to go ahead and change this. We're going to go ahead and double this to that. Make sure you put your spaces. So I have the hub server and my survival server. Now, BungeeCord is going to have your 25565 port. That's so that when people are trying to connect to your BungeeCord server, they don't have to put in a different port. So for this, for the hub server, you're going to do 25566. It can be whatever port you want, just as long as it's not a predefined port, such as 3360 or something like that, or 80 or 22. So for the survival server, we're going to do 25567. Now restricted, I'm not too exactly sure what that does yet. I'm pretty sure it has to do something with whether it's restricted or not, if I were to guess. Here you have the BungeeCord permissions. BungeeCord has its own permission system because BungeeCord handles a player before the server handles it. So if I were to send a chat message and there's a plugin on BungeeCord that handles chat messages, it's going to process that, and if it has nothing to do with it, it's going to send it to the server. But if it has to do something with it, then BungeeCord will handle it. So you can have individual permissions for BungeeCord. Now for this, these are the default permissions. BungeeCord alert, which is the /alert command, which sends in a message to every player on every server. End is what stops it. IP and reload. So that pretty much handles this, except we don't want MD5 in here anymore, so we're going to go ahead and make me an admin. No offense. And here's your online mode. If you run an offline server, you can change this to false. But for this, I'm going to change it to false. If you run an online server, you want this to be true. But for me, I'm just going to leave that as false. Save that and close that. Okay, so now we're going to run BungeeCord. I had a little mishap there, so I need to reset this to BungeeCord. Change that, java-jar, bungeecord.jar. So it's going to run that. Hopefully there's no errors in my config. Thinking there are. Are there? Oh, no. Okay, so it's running. All right, so now your BungeeCord proxy is running on port 25565. So if I'm going to log into Minecraft, I can do so. Go ahead and load this up. Now log in. That's slow computer. Okay, so now I can do add server. Let's see. My BungeeCord server. Local host, since that's the IP that I defined in the config. And there it is. So my BungeeCord server is there. But I have no servers attached to it, but I can log in. And when I get here, it's going to say I'm connected, or I'm connecting. And now it says could not connect to default server because I don't have a default server defined. So we're going to go ahead and close this out. So we're going to go ahead and end BungeeCord. Now that we have this all defined, all this is correct. So now we need to start up our hub server. So I need to change my directory to the hub server. Java-jar spigot.jar. So that's going to go ahead and start up this server, generate all the files and everything. Okay. Let it generate all the maps. Okay. That's just about done. Alright, so now that it's generated, I'm going to go ahead and stop it because you have to edit your server.properties. So now, if you're running your BungeeCord server on the same server that you're running your Minecraft server on, then this is going to be easy because you just use localhost. Other than that, you have to do some other things that I'm not quite sure how to do at this point in time. But for this, we're just going to say you're running this directly on the same box as your Minecraft server. So in my BungeeCord properties, in BungeeCord config.yml, I've defined the hub server as port 25566. So I'm going to change this to port 25566. My server IP, you can leave your server IP blank, which allows the server to accept any IP address. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that blank. So you can go ahead. The key is also to make sure your online mode is false, because BungeeCord is your new authenticator. It's completely secure if you bind your ports which you need to know how to do on your own. So now that I've changed that, I'm going to go ahead and run this again. And now it's going to say server's running offline right here, which it should be running offline. And starting listener on *:25566. So it will accept IP addresses from the port 25566. So now we're going to go ahead and open up my Minecraft server, or Minecraft client. Okay, log in. We're going to run into a little issue here. I actually have to do some screens. So right now I don't have the BungeeCord server running, so I can't find it. But my localhost 25566 should be working. Localhost :25566. So I should be able to connect to the server from here. It's going to be slow because it's not localhost. There it is. So I'm connected to this server. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect. Now, since these have to be running at the same time, I'm going to start using some screens here. So once this closes, I'm going to do screen -dms java dash, ooh, forgot the name. Let's see, hub java dash jar spigot.jar. So that should be running that. So let's see, screen -x hub. And so it's running it in that screen. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect from that. So now we're going to change our directory back to our BungeeCord server. Okay. Now we're going to do screen -dms java jar BungeeCord.jar. So now, I forgot the name. Bungee. There. So now I can do screen -x bungee, or bungee. And so now it's running over here. So right now I have two screens running. I have my hub server running, and I have the BungeeCord server running. So now if I refresh, BungeeCord's showing up. I should be able to connect. And now I'm on the hub server. So now you can see that I'm in BungeeCord. So let's see, /help. This is a bucket side command. And now I can do /server, and that's a BungeeCord command. So now that you have your BungeeCord stuff set up, you're able to do this exact same process that we did with the hub server to the survival server. And when you do that, you're already ready to run multiple servers on the same BungeeCord. So you want to connect to your survival server, you would do /server survival. But it's going to give me an exception because the server isn't online. But, so if I do server hub, it's not going to allow me to because I'm on that server already. What do you know? So, now that we have all of our servers running, I'm just going to show you what your BungeeCord will look like when it's all said and done. So for this, I'm just going to be using the server that I'm part of, INF Gaming, and we're running a BungeeCord server. So as you can see, we have the /server, and we have at this time minigames, Skyblock, Creative, Map Crashers, Assassins, Hub, Survival, Deathband, and Vanilla. So let's say I want to go to the Hub server, since I'm on Map Crashers right now. So I do /server hub, and I'm directly on a different server as of now. So now I want to go to, say, the Assassins server. Now I'm on the Assassins server. So now I can do server advantages of having Bungie. You can run multiple servers and have people easily connect to every one of the servers without having any logging out and going to a different box here and oh, I want to connect here and here and here. It's just all at once. You're on the same server, and it makes it that much easier. So I hope this tutorial helped you out in installing BungeeCord. So thanks for watching.